Since I was born, but now I am getting youth. Hakuna motangu, hakuna togabu.
I don't suffer, no be small. But say I get sense. Poverty no good at all. Now it make I join this business. For one night, no be it's once again. Everybody be there. If anybody follow Mugu, my brother, I go chopper. National airport, National stadium. President, my sister, brother, I be the master. Oh, man, I go drop your dollar. I go take your money, disappear. For one time in the Betty, you be the Mogu, I be the master. The refinery, the contract, now you wife. But you won't pay me some more money, they can't bring ya. You be the Mogu, I be the master. over the TV. I say, I don't see the fire. That's why when they run enter my telephone, I will show them fire. National airport, National stadium, president, now my sister brother, you be the Tinubu, I be the master. The refinery, the contract, now you white. But you won't pay me some more money than I bring up. I be the master. Now me be the master. Oh. I hear you.
Ebulu otu anya ọzọ dịka ọgwụ
Okay now.
tupu ese bifi ma ikpe
I see.
asịkwana nwata na onwere ife ọ ga-emenwu
Okay.
ọgbanyelu gị fim nwanne kirikiri anya mama m si na nwa m etogo kwa maka na nwa m jelu mba o wee bute ike ọganilu na-ebute ilo nwanne m ọ na-amewe nke ya dịka agba ya jọkwa ọ bụ
And there it is right there. So there it is right there. Whatever they just said there, the Igbotic Orchestra from Equolobia. The Igbotic Orchestra from Equolobia. Good day to you, good to be in your company of that. Good day to you, good to be in your company. And how are you? How are you? Hope you're having a gloriously wonderful day so far. Depending, of course, where you are in the day. I'm in the dead of night where I am. Is fast forwarding to 2 a.m. Can you believe that? Just pardon me. It's fast forwarding to 2 a.m., but nevertheless, no rest for the wicked. The protocol remains the same. Click on the like button just as soon as I invite you to do so. Please do so. Click on the like button. If you are not already subscribed, then please correct that by subscribing. So like and subscribe. Let's push numbers up. Like and subscribe. If you want to come and join me on the screen, come via the hyperlink that says StreamYard. I'll send it now so that it's the first line item in the comment section on whichever platform you're watching us from. So click on the hyperlink that says StreamYard to come and join us on the screen. If you feel that way inclined, like, share. Make sure you're sharing, by the way. Copy the links and put it in your social media spaces. So copy the links, put it in your WhatsApp groups, your Facebook groups, and all of those groups. Just copy and share so that everybody can see the funk that is going on here. That funky behavior coming out of you are laughing. So let them come and watch in wonderment as you watch mouth agape. Like, share, subscribe. Come join me via the come join me on the screen via the hyperlink that says StreamYard. Do that. Share the links just as widely as you can. Super chat towards the stream. Very, very important that you do that. The dollar sign at the bottom of the screen is not there for decoration, it's there for a purpose. So avail yourself and make use of it, as Olatubosun just did right there, welcoming the stream in with a handsome little super chat right there. So match or exceed Bosun right there with what he has started. And more importantly, say hello in the comment section so I can acknowledge your presence and say hello back. So say hello. I have no friends, so be my friend for just however long I'm here. So be my friend for just however long I'm here. And being my friend is Agbado Tinubu, of course, who says hello, one man. So good to see you, Agbado, right there. And as we already saw, Bosun says his own hello in a more elegant fashion. That's Bosun right there. That is Madua Buru Okechu. My God Almighty me. Maduabu Buro Chuku Uche. So that's Chooks right there. Let's just call him Chooks. So that's Chooks saying good morning. Good morning to you, Chooks. That's Michael Babs right there. Good to see you, Michael. And Sheson giving the best advice as he comes in to say hello. He says like and share as you come in. So thank you, Sheson, right there. That is Georgian, otherwise known as Niger Man. So there he is right there, our man from the creeks, representing the sapele water flavor. There he is right there. That is Ejiofor Chris right there. Good to see you, Christopher. It says how market. So keep saying hello as you are coming in. So I can. It's always good to start it off with pleasantries. We'll get soon enough to the heavy hitting of the ghost bars fairly quickly. But at least let's start it off with niceties. So all that, like, share, subscribe. Click on the hyperlink that says StreamYard. Super chat to us to stream. Say hello in the comment section. So a whole raft of all manners of things going on in Nigeria. So let's just fast track into it. There's so much to go through. So I'll be just going at speed. I'll read some of it. I'll give you headline with others. I'll play you a few clips. If anybody turns up, we have a conversation. The usual format. The usual format. So we started off with the big headline story. Tinubu declares security emergency across Nigeria. Orders army, police to recruit more personnel. So we are getting to the stage now. But even can the recruitment match the urgency of the situation? That is the thing. They are recruiting some. They are recruiting personnel for something that is immediate and right now. Is it not? Did he not promise us to quadruple the security numbers as part of his campaign promises? We've not seen anything where anything near any sort of recruitment going on within the security apparatus, and people. Nigerians don't even want to join those security services because they're being ravaged and savaged, and the people within there, within the security forces, they are telling us just how badly treated they are. So there's no incentive to even join the security services. Tinubu declares security emergency across Nigeria, orders army, police to recruit more personnel. So we read this one in full. President Bola Tinubu has declared a security emergency across Nigeria as the country continues to witness attacks by gunmen in various areas. The Nigerian leader also asked the police and army to commence massive recruitment of more personnel. He also pledged to support states that have set up their own security network, whilst urging the National Assembly to amend the country's law to allow state policing. So a lot of dragging of feet on that state policing, no dragging of the feet no more, because every other state actually has somewhat of a structure that they've already prepared for that state policing, and even sub-regionally they already have structures in preparation for the legislation for state policing. So the only thing actually hoping, not hoping, but holding, the only thing actually holding that particular security angle in abeyance is the National Assembly, is the law that backs it, and they are dragging their feet. Drag your feet no more. President Tinubu declares a security emergency across Nigeria as the country continues to witness attacks by gunmen in various areas. The Nigerian leader also asked the police and the army to commence on massive recruitment of more personnel. He also pledged to support states that have set up their own security network, whilst urging the National Assembly to amend the country's laws to allow for state policing. Mr. Tinubu said this in a statement he signed, which was shared by his spokesperson, Bayo Ononuga, on social media. Our correspondents report that there have been increased cases of killings and kidnappings in many parts of Nigeria in the last month. While some of the kidnapped victims have been freed, such as the students in Kebbi and worshippers in Kwara, many others have not, including over 200 students in Niger. Our correspondents will provide updates on the president's statement in subsequent reports. So this is the full report of the statement. It says, today, in view of the emerging security situation, I have decided to declare a nationwide security emergency and order additional recruitment into the armed forces. By this declaration, the police and army are authorized to recruit more personnel. So, do they need authorization to recruit more personnel? And have they not been doing that anyway? It's quite the most ludicrous of statements that they've been authorized in a country that is facing a myriad of security challenges. It'll be quite strange for them not to already be doing that anyway. So, do they need a special directive to be recruiting security personnel? That's the thing. Uh, so yes. Where we yes. It says that today, in view of the emerging security situation, I have decided to declare a nationwide security emergency and order additional recruitment into the armed forces. By this declaration, the police and the army are authorized to recruit more personnel. The police will recruit an additional 20,000 officers, bringing the total to 50,000. That's not the total of 50 policemen we have in Nigeria. I think that's a batch of recruitment rather than the totality of all the police we have in Nigeria. By this declaration, the police and the army are authorized to recruit more personnel. The police will recruit an additional 20,000 officers, bringing the total to 50,000. Although I had previously approved the nationwide upgrade of police training facilities, the police authority are, by this statement, authorized to use various National Youth Service Corps camps as training depots. The officers being withdrawn from VIP guard duties should undergo crash training to debrief them and deliver more efficient police services when deployed to security challenged areas of the country. The DSS also has my authority to immediately deploy all the forest guards already trained to flush out the terrorists and bandits lurking in our forest. So that forest guard initiative actually came in. Was it about 4 months ago? And we were all speculating as to what's holding it back. So it's of course there has to be some sort of training, and it looks as though the DSS are. Carrying that out. So that explains that. The DSS is also by my authority. The DSS also has my authority to immediately deploy all the forest guards already trained to flush out the terrorists and bandits lurking in our forest. The agency also has my directive to recruit more men to man the forest. There will be no more hiding places for agents of evil. My fellow Nigerians, this is a national emergency, and we're responding by deploying more boots on the ground, especially in security challenged areas. The time requires all hands on deck. As Nigerians, we should all get involved in securing our nation. Let me take this moment to commend our security agencies for working together to secure the release of 25 schoolgirls in Kebbi and the 38 worshippers in Kwara. We also continue to sustain the effort to rescue the remaining students of Catholic school in Niger State and other Nigerians being held hostage. To the leadership and rank and file of our armed forces, I commend your courage and your sacrifice. This is a challenging moment for our nation and for the military institution itself. I charge you to remain resolute, to restore peace across all theaters of operation, and to uphold the highest standards of discipline and integrity. There must be no compromise, no collusion, and no negligence. So those are quite pointed words. So because as we all know, the totality of the military structure, of the security structures, even not just military, the totality of the security structures of Nigeria has been completely infiltrated by the Boko Haram bandit elements. because during the 8 years of Buhari, they were continually seeding those people within the security structures. So those people are fully embedded within our security structures. All those repentant Boko Harams that are Buhari was putting in army uniforms and in military uniforms. This is the resultant effect of all of that. Now, this is what is playing out. So that's why those words are pointed that there should be no collusion. But don't worry about that. That's already too late. Uh, there must be no compromise, no collusion, and no negligence. The Nigerian people are counting on you, and this administration will provide the support you need to succeed. In addition, our administration will support state governments which have set up security outfits to safeguard their people from the terrorist bent on disrupting our national peace. I call on the National Assembly to begin reviewing our laws to allow states that require state police to establish them. States should rethink establishing boarding schools in remote areas without adequate security. So that's a funny one. Let me put it that way. That's a funny one. That one is filled with spikes. That statement. So you are saying don't okay? It didn't say don't establish schools, but you can sort of see the sense in that actually, because if, boarding schools, especially female boarding schools in remote areas, they're just easy pickings. They might as well just take those children and go and hand them to Boko Haram if you are putting female hostels, boarding schools in remote areas. That's just where the country is at the moment. States should rethink establishing boarding schools in remote areas without adequate security. Mosques and churches should constantly seek police and other security protection when they gather for prayers, especially in vulnerable areas. Our administration created the livestock ministry to address the persistent clashes between herders and farmers. I call on all herder associations to take advantage of it, end open grazing, and surrender illegal weapons. So this is a call rather than a mandation so far. Because the headline actually came in that the government had banned open grazing, but this is a call. This is a plea to them to stop it rather than an outright banning of it. We have to at some point and at the immediate future ban open grazing. It serves no purpose. It's not animal husbandry. It's a lifestyle choice, and that lifestyle is wreaking havoc right across the breadth of the country, the length and breadth, even. So it serves no purpose other than a negative. Open grazing serves no. It doesn't serve the animals. It certainly doesn't even serve the people herding them. You have a 14-year-old just walking through the vast terrains of Nigeria to ungodly places, doing whatever. No schooling, no education, no social interaction, no grooming, nothing. Just the people herding those animals, they're no different from those animals. You know, that is just that you cannot think otherwise. Now they live in the bushes, they have no human interaction. So how can you then query why they are the way why they are the way they are? Right. Our administration created the livestock ministry to address the persistent clashes between herders and farmers. I call on all herder associations to take advantage of it, end open grazing, and surrender illegal weapons. Ranching is now the path forward for sustainable livestock farming and national harmony. The federal government, in collaboration with states, will work with you to solve this problem once and for all. So there has to be an end to that open grazing. There's no other way other than um I sympathize with the families who have lost their loved ones in recent attacks on soft targets in Kebbi, Borno, Zamfara, Niger, Yobe, and Kwara states. I also pay tribute to our brave soldiers who have made the ultimate sacrifice, including Brigadier General Musa Uba. Those who want to test our resolve should never mistake our restraint for weakness. This administration has the courage and determination to keep the country safe and ensure our citizens live in peace. So all of this should not actually be a press release. This should be a national broadcast. He has to put his face and voice to it. This is not something you send by your Nuga to go and deliver. I sympathize with the families who have lost loved ones in recent attacks on soft targets in Kebbi, Borno, Zamfara, etc. Okay, so that somewhat repeats. So that's President Tinubu right there, your president, declaring a state of emergency on banditry in Nigeria. So still in that vein, Senate declares kidnapping banditry as terrorism, approves death penalty for offenders. So I wonder why this wasn't the case anyway. And by the way, this also captures Nnamdi Kanu somewhat. So we'll see how quickly. Have they even filed his appeal? They promised us as early as Monday they will file his appeal. Has it not been like a week now that he's been eating tuwo in Sokoto prison? Senate declares kidnapping banditry as terrorism, approves death penalty for offenders. We won't take the fullness of this. We'll take a few paragraphs. Um, and by the way, there's nobody in the room so far. So if anybody wants the conversation come in, let me send the link. If you want the conversation, then come in. And I'm not seeing anything like a super chat outside of our boson. So you have to make sure the platform is constantly lubricated, and the lubricant is always a super chat. So let me send that in. Let me send that in. So that's the pardon me. So that's the link to the studio right there. If you have any thoughts on what's been read out so far, what's been discussed so far, then come in. The Nigerian Senate on Tuesday adopted sweeping security resolutions officially designating kidnapping and banditry as acts of terrorism and approving the maximum death penalty for all kidnapping related offenses. The resolution followed an intense debate during plenary presided over by Senate President Godswill Akpabio after a motion of urgent national importance raised by Senator uh, Ashiru Oyelola Yisa Kwara South and further amended by Senate Leader Opeyemi Bamidele in one of its strongest security positions in recent years. The Senate ruled that henceforth all laws relating to kidnapping should be classified as terrorism and should have a maximum death penalty, overturn or reduce the sentence without any option of fine. To implement the decision, Senate Leader Opeyemi Bamidele was directed to introduce a formal amendment bill in the shortest possible time. Beyond the legal reclassification, lawmakers approved the creation of a new joint task force to strengthen security across Kwara Kebbi corridor with forward operating bases to be established in Eruku, Bambala, Okero, Isanlu, etc., and Wasagu in Kebbi. The Senate also further urged the federal government to reinforce local vigilante groups and review Nigeria's firearm laws. So I want to discuss this as a standalone because on this platform, even since the beginning of this platform, I have been advocating for Nigerians to have the right to bear arms. There almost seems to be an inevitability to it. Nigeria, you cannot just lie on the floor and be pied like a chicken by a Fulani man. At least if you are tooled up, if you had your own firearm, then you have a fighting chance. So if you are going to go down, at least go down fighting. And the right to bear arms is never been more pronounced within the Nigerian space than now. Uh In one of his strongest positions in recent years, the Senate ruled that henceforth all laws relating to kidnapping should be classified as terrorism and should have a maximum death penalty, and no judge should overturn or reduce the sentence without any option of fine. To implement the decision, Senate Leader Opeyemi Bamidele was directed to introduce a formal amendment bill in the shortest possible time. Beyond the legal reclassification, lawmakers approved the creation of a new joint task force to strengthen security across Kwara Kebbi corridor, etc., etc. The Senate further urged the federal government to reinforce local vigilante groups and review Nigeria's firearm laws to reflect practices in over 175 countries where responsible citizens are permitted to carry guns. A major highlight of the resolution was the directive for a full investigation into the withdrawal of troops from a school in Kebbi State hours before bandits struck. So this is the internal embedding within the system that we've always criticized. So that it's just is beyond question that there's a synergizing between elements within the security forces and the banditry. The schools were guarded. Somebody gave the orders for the guards to be removed, and the bandits came in. So how does that even fall within any of the parameters of a coincidence? A major highlight of the resolution was the directive for a full investigation into the withdrawal of troops from a school in Kebbi State hours before a bandit attack. All Senate security committees were mandated to investigate the withdrawal of military personnel from the Kebbi school prior to the attack, probe the circular relating to the killing of Brigadier General M. Umba in Maiduguri and report back to the chambers within 2 weeks. The resolution underscores the Senate's escalating alarm over the surge in kidnapping, school raids, and bandit attacks across the country. Correspondents previously reported that panic and fear swept through a Ruku town in Ekiti local government area of Kwara State when terrorists stormed a branch of Catholic Apostolic Church. We've already documented that. So that is the reclassification then of kidnapping and banditry as terrorism carrying the ultimate charge, ultimate penalty. Guinea Bissau president detained as military take control. So that's another Sahelian country that has fallen under the 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 jackboots of the khaki wearing elements. Insecurity, we need international support, but Barrow makes U turn after rejecting Donald Trump's invasion threat. Um, I think that's self-explanatory. So I think we just came through that one. We go on from that to this. So now this is the one I was really keen on. Senate to federal government review firearm law to allow responsible citizens to own guns. I sadly will be owning a gun if I ever decide to live in Nigeria. The Nigerian Senate has called on the federal government to review the country's firearm laws to allow responsible citizens to own guns, citing the escalating insecurity across Kwara, Kebbi, and Niger State. The call followed a motion titled "Urgent Needs to Address Escalating Insecurity in Kwara, Kebbi, and Niger State," which highlighted recent attacks on schools, worship centers, and rural communities. The motion, sponsored by Deputy Senate Leader Senator Lola something or the other, senators urged immediate federal action to curb the rising wave of banditry, kidnapping, and violent crimes, warning that mass school abductions and persistent raids have forced closures of schools, including all 42 unity schools nationwide, disrupting the education of thousands of children. The upper chamber commended President Tinubu for canceling. No, 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 no. We don't need him. We don't need to be commending him for canceling a foreign trip. He has no business being out of the country when the country is in the state that it is. So no commendations to you. That's just bread and butter routine stuff. What will they be doing in South Africa when everything going on in the country is going on? Stop building boarding schools in unsafe areas, Tinubu urged states. So yeah, we've gone through that. So we go on from that to a totally new space. So now Tinubu at last, just at the quarter to midnight of his administration, he has now decided to get his finger out of his ass and start to appoint ambassadors. I've always said if he doesn't even want ambassadors, there are crucial spaces that he must have ambassadors. That's the United States, China, Russia. He must have an ambassador there, the United Kingdom and the European Union. So it needs an ambassador in those spaces. It needs an ambassador in all the important countries, India as well, but especially those five spaces. It must have one in the UK, the US, China, Russia, and the European Union. I mean, how else would you know what is going on there or press your interest when you don't have a public face there? Meet ambassadors nominated by Tinubu for US, UK, and France. Spoiler alert, by the way, it's 80% Yoruba. President Bola Tinubu has asked the Senate to confirm the appointment of three non-career ambassadors. This is coming nearly 2 years after Tinubu recalled all Nigerian ambassadors, both career and non-career, in September 2023. The nominees are Kayode Are of Ogun State, Aminu Dal Hatu of Jigawa State, and Ayodele Oke of Oyo State. Here are what you need to know about the nominees. Ayodele Oke, Ambassador Designate, State of Origin Oyo State, retired career diplomat and former Director General, National Intelligence Agency. Professional summary. A distinguished career diplomat with over 3 decades of service in Nigeria's foreign affairs and intelligence sector. Expertise in international relations, multilateral diplomacy, and national security. Served as Nigeria's top intelligence chief from 2013 to 2017, overseeing covert operations and foreign intelligence. Uh, Director General, National Intelligence Agency, that this is a CV, appointed by Goodluck Jonathan, oversaw Nigeria's external intelligence operations, including counterterrorism and strategic intelligence gathering, etc., etc. So there he is. And then Latif Kayode Are, so where's he from? He's from I think he's from Ogun State, isn't he? So there he is, and then Malam. So that is for the United States, United Kingdom, and France. So there it is right there. Those are your ambassador designates. So here is Peter Obi now, as ever. Things always backfire on him, and is called now to for Donald Trump to come and blow up Nigeria. Is starting to backfire. Now he's starting to run scared. I never invited Donald Trump into Nigeria's situation. This is P. Toby. Peter Obi has denied claims that he was the brain behind invitation of United States President Donald Trump to intervene in the current security situation in Nigeria. Peter Obi, the Labour Party LP presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, in a statement signed by Ibrahim Omar, POMR spokesman, berated Bayo Ononuga, the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, for claiming that the government he represents will not forgive Peter Obi for supposedly inviting United States President Donald Trump into Nigeria's situation. Obi, whilst reacting to the statement, said, "It is important to note that the circumstances surrounding the involvement of President Trump and the global community in Nigerian issues are well known and have nothing to do with our principle. Therefore, we believe Ononuga deserves no response, except perhaps for those who are easily influenced." It seems this government cannot escape thoughts of Peter Obi, and we understand why. His message directly addresses the glaring failure of leadership for which this administration is primarily responsible. He noted that the fabrications by Bayo Ononuga appears to be a desperate attempt by the government to divert public attention from its shortcomings. He also noted that Ononuga was continually and incorrectly interpreted, and has continually and incorrectly interpreted uh, his role as presidential spokesman to mean finding ways to criticize Peter Obi, whose name has become a source of anxiety for them. So he stated that the falsehood about Obi are nothing more than a cynical attempt to distract the public from the government's evident failure, such as insecurity, the rising cost of living, and various instances of corruption, all taking place and unprecedented hardship facing the nation. So that's Peter Obi right there. Very quickly now trying to distance himself from Donald Trump. To Peter Obi that was once upon a time glorying in it. Jonathan trapped in Guinea-Bissau. So the coup that has taken place in Guinea seems to have caught Goodluck Jonathan there. Our former President Goodluck Jonathan is currently trapped in Guinea-Bissau, where the military announced takeover earlier on in the day. The Nigerian leader, alongside hundreds of foreign observers, are unable to leave the country where elections took place and results are about to be officially declared. Correspondents understand that hundreds of foreign observers who raced to the airport in a bid to leave the country after the coup are, 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 are currently stranded. A group of military officers claimed total control of the country a day after two leading candidates declared victory, calling themselves the High Military Command for the Restoration of Order. The officers ordered the immediate suspension of the electoral process until further notice. They also ordered the closure of all land, air, and sea borders and an overnight curfew. I have been deposed. Uh, Bello told French broadcast in a telephone call, adding that he was currently in the general staff headquarters. The head of the main opposition has also been arrested. As well, we just heard that the military are trying to cut off the internet. There is a curfew in place. He said the army officer leading the coup, Dennis something or the other, served as the head of the presidential guard. The man is supposed to protect the president himself. Has put the president under arrest. Upon his arrival in the country, Jonathan, who is head of the West African Elders Forum Observer Group, posted on social media, "We arrived in Bissau this evening as members of the West African Elders Forum. Our election mission ahead of Guinea-Bissau's presidential and um, parliamentary polls are scheduled for November 2023. We wish the people of Guinea-Bissau a peaceful, inclusive, and transparent election." 2 days later, he posted another update. Out on election day in Bissau, so as he posted an update, what happened if they shoot him? Attempts to confirm the whereabouts and safety of Jonathan from a spokesperson did not yield any result as his phone line was out of reach. However, Imma Niboro, a former spokesperson of the ex-president, confirmed to correspondents that the Nigerian leader who recently marked his 68th birthday was still in Guinea-Bissau when the coupists struck. Niboro told correspondents that he spoke with those around Jonathan who assured them that the former president is safe but trapped alongside other foreign observers. So that's good luck, Jonathan, right there, caught in some the excesses of the Jamjawits in the Sahel. So that's the Jamjawits in the Sahel. So now, the Americans promise us kits rather than bombs. So rather than the Americans coming. And by the way, if you are not already subscribed, please subscribe. If you are not already clicking on the like button, please click on the like button. Like and subscribe is the shorthand to what I just said. Like and subscribe. So the Americans sending us kits instead of bombs. The United States has agreed to fast track Nigeria's pending arms request. Hopefully, this means the NAF, which is the Nigerian Air Force, will receive its 12AH-1Z Viper attack helicopters earlier than the projected delivery time, which is excessively long, as well as the Nigerian Army's aviation course. But anyway, they get more kits. It's just that's the offshoot of that. So that's the offshoot of that. Where are we with the next one? What are we looking at here? Okay, it says a highlight of the latest directives by President Bola Tinubu towards improving the security apparatus of the country. So here are measures that have been taken so far. So a whole raft of measures, as you would imagine. So they're presenting it in bullet points. So let's rattle through them. Nationwide security emergency. President Tinubu formally declared a nationwide security emergency. Number two, more boots on the ground. This declaration authorizes the deployment of more boots on the ground, especially in security challenge areas. Number three, army and police recruitment. The police and army are authorized to recruit more personnel. Number four, police recruitment targets. The police will recruit an additional 20,000 officers, bringing the total planned intake to 50,000. NYSC training camps. The police authorities are authorized to use various NYNC camps as training depots. Number six, VIP guards withdrawal and retraining. Number seven, DSS forest guard deployment. The DSS is directed to immediately deploy all already trained forest guards to flush out the bandits. DSS recruitment. The DSS is also directed to recruit more men to man the forest. Number nine, support for state security outfits. Number 10, call for state police review. Number 11, livestock herder farmer resolution. 12, boarding schools, etc., etc. I think we've already captured all this in some of our readouts. So that's that. So those are the measures being taken by Tinubu. We go on from that to this. Uh, Southern governors draw red line. State policing or nothing. Declare it non-negotiable for Nigeria's survival. Our governors from Nigeria's southern states convened in a high-stake strategic meeting on Wednesday, issuing a resounding call for the establishment of state police as a non-negotiable pillar of true federalism and grassroots security amidst a surge in kidnappings and violent extremism plaguing the region. Hosted by Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, the Southern Governors Forum gathering drew key figures including Simi Fubara, etc., etc. The session, shrouded in urgency, zeroed in on decentralizing Nigeria's centralized policing model to better tackle localized threats from schools abduction to rural banditry. In his opening address, Abiodun not pointed, but painted. In his opening address, Abiodun painted a stark picture of the nation's security landscape, warning that recent mass abductions in schools, religious centers, and rural communities across the country have shown that no region is immune to organized criminality or violent extremism. He lauded President Tinubu's exceptional leadership in orchestrating swift rescue of kidnapped students, but stressed the need for deeper reforms, declaring the creation of state police remains a non-negotiable component of our collective demand for true federalism and effective grassroots security. So that's that. So that's that. It goes on and on a bit more, but I think we get the gist of it. So now I want to play you this video now. So this video now, there's hold on. Uh I want to play you this video. I want to play you this video. But I'll have first a sip of water. If I can find my water. You know, now there's been a lot of controversy and debate around one, the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu and subsequently the conviction of Nnamdi Kanu. And very often when you hear those, and by the way, can people make sure that they are liking? I'm not seeing the like numbers go up. Please click on the like button, and if you are not already subscribed, please subscribe. So a lot of controversies around the Nnamdi Kanu narrative, is arrest and his subsequent conviction, and people were saying he was convicted just for expressing the wish of his people. So that's why I'm so let's let's have a look at this video and dissect it against that sort of backdrop. So this is the arrest of a guy called Adeyinka grandson. So this arrest did not take place in Nigeria. This arrest took place in the United Kingdom. And the reasons why he's been arrested is not too dissimilar to Nnamdi Kanu. So let's pick it up from the beginning. And by the way, the audio is very vague, so you have to I'll push it up as high as I can, but the audio is very grainy. I think this happened. This will be about 7 8 years ago now. But the audio is not the best quality, but you can still hear it if you pay attention. So this is the arrest of Adeyinka grandson allegedly for terrorism, etc. So let's pick it up from here. So this is when the police in the United Kingdom got into his building to notify him of his arrest. Oh, all right. So that is Adeyinka grandson right there, and those are the arresting security. Those are the authorities arresting him, and they are telling him charges. So Adeyinka grandson. So I'm arresting you for encouraging terrorism, and disseminating terrorism-related materials. So that's why they are arresting him, and I believe he's still in prison even as we speak now. And this was 8 years ago thereabout. So stirring up racial hatred. So now you want to query them what they mean by racial hatred. So the guy is being arrested in the United Kingdom, and if they are arresting him for stirring up racial hatred, then you want to it's not even a lazy conclusion, but the automatic conclusion is to conclude that is inciting racial disharmony within the United Kingdom. But no, the racial hatred that they are talking about is that it's inciting people against the Igbo people. That's the racial hatred. Do you see? So they are making that distinction as the Igbos as a separate and a distinct race of people, and Adeyinka grandson a separate and a distinct race of person, who is then inciting racial hatred towards the Igbos, and that's the reason why he's been arrested. You know, um, when you listen to the narratives of the followers of Nnamdi Kanu, they will tell you that things like this would never happen in a civilized country. But then, of course, the United Kingdom is not a civilized country because what happened to Adeyinka grandson, as we are witnessing with your own very eyes, is a lot worse than how Nnamdi Kanu was treated. So clearly, the United Kingdom not a civilized country. So there it is right there. That's the arrest of Adeyinka grandson. Still in, I think he was actually released and then rearrested again. Still in prison even as we speak. So now, with all that is going on in Nigeria, everybody advocates then that that country should be balkanized. So they said that country should be split. But if you split Nigeria, how will that split take place? So here is a proposition of just that splitting of Nigeria. I think this is actually coming out of the north. You see the convenient splitting. So at the topmost there, you have the Arewa nation. And then in this middle bit here, you have a place called Nigeria. And then this little sliver here gives us Odua Republic. And then this curious one right here, I think this may well be coming out of the IPOB space actually, because this Biafra now, it gives them that access to the sea, which they've always lusted after. So let's see how this guy explains it. Okay, clearly that's coming out of IPOB. This clip right here is coming out of IPOB. But this is not the system run in the United States. Anyway, the system run in Nigeria is the sort of similarity to what runs in Nigeria because you have federating states all nested within one singular country, which is what they do in the United States. So this guy clearly doesn't have the literacy or the knowledge to speak to what he's speaking to. The middle list. Can you imagine that? Should we even bother with this guy? He's clearly some semi-illiterate. You know, ignorance is actually even worse than Boko Haram. Ignorance is worse than banditry or terrorism. Uh, no audio. Oh, you couldn't hear it. Oh, okay. Okay. Let me play it. I thought you could hear it. I have it downloaded. Hopefully you can hear my voice. But this is what that guy was talking about.
This is Nigeria. This is Nigeria. This is how they just design it. I just use this map for example, but let's get it done. This could be the same one Nigeria, but here how it should run. This should be the northern part, named their own republic or whatever, but as a one federation of Nigeria. These people could be controlling themselves, governing themselves, and these people could also be governing themselves. These people can also be governing themselves, and these people too. In collaboration, they can come together as one union, call themselves one Nigeria, if they really want to use that name. But this thing you just see here now is the confusion. Here is why Ojukwu went to meet other Nigerian leaders in Aburi Accord, which they made and agreed. The restructuring that most of you Nigeria are not aware of is actually this thing. Restructuring doesn't mean division, dividing the nation. It means each region should be governing themselves while they all contribute to the federation, the one Nigeria. That is how the British system run. That is how the United States system run. The British has different regions and they call themselves United Kingdoms. The United States have different regions, different states, and they all unite and call themselves the United States of America. Each state are governing themselves just like they are doing the normal local state. That is why they said the Igbo should be on their own, the Yoruba should govern themselves. The Arewa people, the Northern, should govern themselves under one federation, as well as the Middle East. When it comes in development contribution, they both have to come together. So what I just showed you now is what Nigeria need to understand. That is the restructuring they're talking about. The restructuring that was discussed in Aburi Accord in Ghana in the early 1960s. That was the agreement.
Oh, all right. So like I said, that was just some semi-illiterate from Ugeli or Abakaliki or somewhere. So now a response from their overlord to all of this nonsense going on. I think it's time for us to hear from their actual original overlord, and this is what he has to say.
That in my absence, certain people have created a vested interest in a sort of situation which I personally consider unhealthy for our people. There is a sort of huge mentality which our people have acquired as a result of the end of the war. I believe that's not peace. I believe that people must, since the fact that the war is ended, they must feel free to partake, to serve, to benefit from Nigeria. They should have no inhibitions about being Nigerians anymore. They should have no complexes.
So there it is right there. So there it is right there. That's as far back as whenever Ojukwu said that. But of course, the Biafra thing has transmuted into a business enterprise. So nobody is fighting for a separatist nation or anything like that. Everybody is just fighting. They want to hammer. Is that the new age phraseology? People are fighting to hammer. So now I'm going to play you now this next clip. This is a silent, so there's nothing wrong with the audio of this one. It's a silent black and white clip. But I want you to, and this is a quiz for you guys as well. I want you to guess who the criminal is in the Rolls Royce that's being chauffeured round. So I want you to pay keen attention. I want you to spot the criminal in the Rolls Royce. But like I said, there's no audio to it, so don't worry about no audio. It's simply a black and white. So tell me in the comment section if you can identify the criminal in this. It's just a 10, 15-second clip, so you have to be eagle-eyed about it. But who is the criminal in the Rolls Royce in this black and white clip? So there it is right there. Put your guesses in the comment section. I'll tell you after the Kegite music if you got it right or wrong. Let me play it one more time. So spot the criminal in the Rolls Royce. So there it is right there. Answers on a postcard via the comment section. So one last clip, and then we'll see if anybody turns up. I'll send the link again. One last time, I'll send the link, and then we'll see after that. Here is in Islam, they don't recognize the concept of conversion. In Islam, so if you were a Christian, for instance, and you took to Islam, they don't recognize that concept of conversion. Do you know why? Because in Islam, the mainstay of that belief is that everybody is born a Muslim. So if you are not a Muslim, they consider that you have strayed from your original religion because their own doctrinal line is that every born human being is born a Muslim. So if you're a Christian, they consider that you have strayed from your original religion. So if you then, let's say even you're a Hindu and then you decide to convert to Islam, they don't consider it to be a conversion. They consider it to be a reversion. So they call it a revert. If you crossed from Christianity to Islam, for instance, or Hinduism to Islam or whichever religion to Islam, they will call you a revert, not a convert. Because, like I said, their doctrinal line is that you were originally a Muslim anyway from birth. So that's that. So I say that only to intro this now next clip. Here is once upon a time an obedient whose the penny finally drops and the wool gets pulled from his eyes. A revert from obedience.
Some people that know me see me talking for Tinubu. They might be surprised. But then, when I look at the ideology of this guy, his thinking, his boldness, his reforms, most of the reforms that he's carrying out right now, genuinely, even talks of a new constitution. Which politician in Nigeria can you really look at and then say, this person could have had the guts? Even the person that I support, he believes in one Nigeria. He believes in all of us can be in one place. All of these left-wing ideologies. But I am a right-wing ideologist when it comes to political. My political view is right-wing. And the only reason why I tilted towards this guy, first of all, is because I did not know this guy really well. That's number one. And then number two, Nigeria just needed someone to take us out of the era of this corruption. But when you don't systematically solve corruption with reforms, if you just solve it by the fact that, oh, you are the president, and then you bring in people who might not steal the money, when you leave, those problems will persist. They will come back. That's why you see Peter Obi, who was in Anambra, he might have done relatively well when he was there, but immediately he left. What happened? But then you look at Lagos, in the other hand, Tinubu was there, but he did not just do these things by, oh, I'm going to supervise the project myself, I'm going to make sure they don't spend more than they are spending, all of those things. They are all good. I'm not here trying to bash anybody. They are all good. But I, as a business person who runs businesses, if you are going to run a business in such a way that you have to be present for it to work well, then that's not a good business. You need a business that even when you are not there, people like Coca-Cola, they build businesses that even after they died and after 100 years, those businesses are still there. So if they were the people who were holding these businesses together, it's dead immediately, they're also dead. So when you look at this guy who understands the structural problems, and he's going to the roots of these problems to make sure that these problems can never return unless someone comes and demolish those reforms. And that is going to be impossible, because if he puts all these things together and then they are working for Nigerians, nobody would come and say he wants to go back to the other system when this other system is working for us. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So that is why I look at this guy with an open mind. I won't lie, I've been biased towards him for a while because I've been seeing his good works, but then I'm like, I don't trust this guy. But right now, I can see clearly what this guy is trying to do. That's why I'm saying we should not make the same mistake we made with Goodluck Jonathan that ushered in APC. This is the leader of APC. Buhari just used APC as a vehicle to come into power. And this guy couldn't say anything, even when Buhari was mismanaging the whole country. And if you know how this country works, you would know that when it was the Fulanese, they were the ones that dominated. So there's nothing this guy could have said that could have really impacted on that government, because the Fulanese would ask Buhari, don't listen to this guy. Why? They don't like these people. That's the truth. So he never would have listened. So this guy just had to be patient and then come in because he understands the job.
There it is right there. Once upon an obedient, now he has seen the light. A revert. A revert. I'll play you one more clip, and then I'll play the Kegite music, and then if nobody turns up, we just shut it down quick and sharp.
Where is the main cutter of this one? Torchlight.
So that was the NDLEA busting yet another drug, fake medication, something. You know, as they redesignated banditry and kidnapping capital offenses, they should also designate certain fake medication capital offenses, because equally culpably, that's also taking human lives. So that's yet another somewhere, no doubt in Owerri or Onitsha or somewhere like that, another fake medication den are being busted by the excellent officers of the NDLEA. So the Kegite music, and then we see what happens after that.
Only water, where they see ma. You don't come oh. Hapa oh night oh. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Ilé sọ́dí àkẹ́kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Chief Wáìlà tí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù ré o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùdóde ojàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosonama ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodúnkẹ́ ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run méjìkọ. Ikú gbéṣe o.
Oh yes. Before I forget, yes. This clip, the criminal at the back of the Rolls Royce is Aguye Irosi. So that's Aguye Irosi. So that's that for tonight. Thank everyone. See you tomorrow.